How's it, football family and soccer brothers and sisters? Welcome to Week 8, Episode 2 of Panenka Pundit. And we have Louis back on the show today. Louis, how's things going there for you? What's your feelings? What's happening?
I would formally like to hand in my resignation for the show because I can't come on the show every week and just talk about how trash United is playing at this stage. Somewhere along the line, we should start celebrating United like we did in the first week. I think when you and I and Ivor were on the show the first time, all the talk was around United and the season that they're going to have. And I think we bashed Liverpool a bit at one stage and said, we don't think they haven't made real signings. We don't think they're going to have the season that they've had 2 years ago. We kind of said the same about City. Chelsea was an exciting one. And United, we were the most excited about United, although you guys do not like United. I'm at a stage where I want to say I have no idea what's going on. I don't know where we're heading. I don't know. At one stage yesterday, I also felt Ole out. We must make a change very soon. Otherwise, we're going to become a mid-table team.
So, to relate a little bit with what you're feeling now, there was a few comments from people, or a few posts that people made that said, well, remember Chelsea went through the same phase with Frank Lampard and they made the change and this is what happens. So do you feel like it's close to that? Do you still feel like supporting him? It doesn't matter what the outside says. How do you feel about it? Do you still back him? Do you think you still need players? What's up?
Definitely not players. We have a lot of the England starters and heroes from the English team. We have one of the best in the world leading our striking line. We have a 20-year-old that's coming through the ranks, that's playing some of the best football in the world in Greenwood. We have Bruno Fernandes that had the best 2 seasons the last 2 years. So we have a World Cup winner in midfield that just won the Nations League as well. So definitely not in terms of players. I can't agree more that we do not lack star players. What I can relate with what you just said about Lampard is Lampard had the same squad, the same team than Tuchel won the Champions League with. And he just couldn't provide the trophies. And they made the change, and all of a sudden they had the biggest trophy in European football. Yeah. So, yes, it might be time. I think Abramovich and United are doing things totally different. Abramovich cancels whenever he feels like it's not working out, where United believes in their coaches for as long as possible. Ruan, I don't know. Maybe. I think Ole will become a mainstay legend. Maybe just not now. Like I feel about Lampard as well. I think Lampard will make a return to Chelsea one day, and he'll probably become one of the best. So, yes, maybe it is time. Maybe too soon in the season. We're already into October, but maybe let's give him until December. Let's hope he can turn things around. But yes, we have a brilliant squad. We're just not winning at this stage.
Yeah, you do. But just to throw something extra into the conversation. So reports said that Antonio Conte said no to Newcastle. So I don't know if that's something you guys must focus on. Will he ever go there? Is it the correct job for him? But he's also an instant changer and he wants money. So I don't know if he would fit the club and how the procedures work.
Okay, but that's what. Let me throw this one back to you because you've experienced it now. You've experienced the Conte and you've experienced the Tuchel. We haven't experienced an instant changer. A bit maybe in Mourinho, winning 2 trophies along the line, and then in his 3rd year, like he always does, kind of drops out.
Yeah.
But do you prefer an instant change and winning a trophy, or do you rather want somebody at Chelsea that can stay there for as long as an Arsene Wenger, Ferguson, and now Jurgen Klopp as well? Do you rather want someone like that at the Chelsea, or do you want just trophies? Doesn't matter how long he stays.
So let me tell you. So Chelsea have not managed to find a manager who doesn't have a big dip. So these guys go after they get a big dip. So Jurgen Klopp had a dip, and his worst dip was he ended up 4th last season, right? Even though he had a lot of injuries, that was a good thing for them. Arsenal, for instance, they've been 8th twice, 2 years in a row now. So that's a big dip. So that's a long time Well, for me, for an Arsenal, it's like if you're really happy with 8th price a year, it kind of shows you are taking it slow. So that for me is too long. But with Chelsea, we've never had a manager that was consistent over 3 years. As soon as the slump starts, the sacking starts. And I also know a thing that makes it very difficult at Chelsea is that you don't mess with the board. If there's a manager who has something to say to Mourinho, or if there's a fallout with the players, usually the coaches get the sack and not the players. And Mourinho was a prime example of it. I think it was Diego Costa, Eden Hazard, and Cesc Fabregas, who was not fitting into the problems. This is the second spell that Mourinho was sacked. And they listened to the players. They were like, listen here, these are A-grade ace players. It's Diego Costa prime, it's Cesc Fabregas prime, it's Eden Hazard prime. You listen to them, and the club listens. So in a weird way, it feels like the club's a little bit more lenient towards the players than towards the managers. But I am hoping that Tuchel will be a Mourinho successor, where he will come in at least 3 or 4 seasons, get something amazing done, and then change from there. It's very emotional. Let me tell you, it is super emotional. Supporting this team, getting to love the managers, love the style. There's that empty happening. And then there's a fallout, and then they end 8th, and then they get sacked. And then you're like, oh, here we go again. But at the end of the day, so far, it's worked. It has worked. So
you have won a Champions League twice since we've last won it. So something is working.
It does work. So, but there's something with that club and chaos that go together that I love and that I hate. I don't know what it is. So, because the club does thrive in chaos. When the Champions League, both of the Champions Leagues we were not nearly the best team in Europe, but somehow we pulled it through. So for me, the quick fix thing doesn't always work, and they tend to go to aggressive managers for those things. Antonio Conte is one of them. Jose Mourinho is obviously a good example of that. So it feels like Tuchel's a little bit more laid back. Maybe he's better handling the players. Players love him. He's good with interviews so far. Like you can see when Jose Mourinho is stressing a little bit or when he's under pressure. Jurgen Klopp also last year, he had the craziest interviews. And I'm like, I like this guy, but what is he saying? Like, what is he doing? So for me, I don't
excuses the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't always prefer the quick fix, but it has helped. I was hoping Frank Lampard would be an exception. And that's what everyone thought. Listen here, this was a growing time. No budget to spend, or you're not allowed to spend. The first year came in, he ended 4th, and everyone was like, no one expected that. With no budget, you lost Eden Hazard, and we were hoping for it. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But but at the moment, I'm happy. Even though we're not playing the best football, we won Brentford 1-0. Could have
You're on top of the league. That's the most important part of it all.
Eduard Mendy, I cannot believe he's not nominated for the Ballon d'Or. He's been
that's shocking, eh?
ridiculous. So he's been great for our game. Let's move to the other teams before we get too biased and just talk about our own teams. So Liverpool 5-0 over Watford. Talks about Mohamed Salah being the best player at the moment in the world. You think?
So I've never been the biggest Salah fan. And then yesterday, he equaled Drogba's scoring record in the Premier League. So you're a Chelsea fan. You know how big Drogba was and what he meant for the Premier League as a whole, not only for Chelsea and for African football in England. And here you get the Egyptian king, and he's still in his prime. Drogba scored 104 goals in his whole spell, in his whole career in England, where Salah's still going to go a couple of years. Yeah. So he is probably going to become the best African footballer of all time, especially in England. And yes, let's say he is probably one of the best at the stage. I think the rate that Erling Haaland is scoring at, he's probably not that far behind. But it's great to see other players than just Messi and Ronaldo, like we've seen for the last couple of years, for the last, 15 years, where it's been only them,
it is
more. So it's good to see guys being talked about, like even a Jorginho being talked about for a possible Ballon d'Or, winning the title. So it's good, and I'm very happy for Salah. I'm very happy for Liverpool. Even Mane, just a couple of goals behind him. you want a consistent striking partnership like that. And well done to them. They've got it.
Yeah.
They've got it for the last couple of seasons. And it's not looking like Liverpool's going to stop scoring soon.
No, they're not. So they are scoring. It's actually amazing. Bobby Firmino got a hat-trick and he wasn't even man of the match. Salah was man of the match. Because you have to, So I do think they have the best attack at the moment. Almost in form attack. It looks like somewhere they can still leak a few goals. But I do think Liverpool in general have the best starting 11. I don't think they have the best squad. I don't think they have the most complete squad, but I think starting 11, they are very dangerous. And as long as they can keep
for
fit,
them, and they've got a great manager as well. So it's really working out for them. Whatever they're doing right, it's working. And then we can go back to last year and say, maybe they could have won the Premier League last year. If it wasn't for injuries, a couple of injuries. So.
But everybody's getting injured now. On that topic, there's a lot of injuries. You guys have injuries. We have a lot of injuries. And it's because of the international break stuff. There's another international break, 4 weeks from now. I think it's getting way too much on the players. But quickly, I wanted to ask you mentioned Jorginho the Ballon d'Or. Who's your nomination for the Ballon d'Or? Who do you think should win?
So here's what I think. We had this discussion a couple of weeks ago when we had the UEFA nominations as well for the player of the season. And I then also said, I do not think Jorginho is going to make it. Although I think he's the most qualified in terms of what he's won and assists. I know assists with his passing and whatever. But I think it's going to go to Messi. And here's why I'm saying that. Even though he kind of had a change in his career now, and people are not talking about him because the French football for us in South Africa, it's not something we watch every day, so we're not hearing a lot about him. He had a great season in Spain, although they were a lot under pressure, and we're forgetting that he won a Copa America. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying my prediction, although I think there are better players in current form. Please don't get me wrong, Messi haters. Or Messi lovers and Ronaldo haters, but I think it's going to be Messi. I can't see how he's not going to win it because remember the Ballon d'Or is a vote between players and managers.
Because he has such a big fan base, I can't see. So for me, I feel like Robert Lewandowski deserves it. He's been doing this for the last 2 years, and he got snubbed last year because there wasn't a Ballon d'Or. So I actually feel sorry for him. So that's my pick. Your pick is Messi. And it makes sense that you say Messi. And now the more I hear it, the more I realize, Lewandowski's not going to get it. But
I hope he gets it, that we have a different name on that title. And he had a brilliant last, probably 5 seasons. One of the best probably last season. So yes, I hope I can agree with you. And I hope that you are right. But I probably think it's going to be Messi.
Okay. All right. Well, off that topic, Champions League this Wednesday. You guys are taking on Atalanta. This is a must. This is a must win for you guys.
Yeah. So there's still 4 games left. I think we still have a lot of time. Atalanta, not an easy team. Never.
Yes, but for confidence, I think it's a must win.
Yes. So I think that's what I want to agree. So I want to touch on 2 things here. So firstly, Atalanta in midweek Wednesday. So yes, it's a must win for us, but it's a must win not only for where we are at this stage in our season, not winning, drawing, etc. It's a must win for what's coming up. And I think that's the part that we should fear more than just Atalanta on Wednesday. If you drop out of the Champions League, you still have Europa League. So it's not the worst. But if you start dropping out in the Premier League, we already have a 5-point gap between us and Chelsea, a 4-point gap between us and Liverpool. It's just going to become bigger, and then it's going to happen what happened to City a couple of years ago, where they won by 18 points. So you don't want that. You want to compete, and we have Liverpool coming up, we have Spurs coming up, we have City coming up, we have Chelsea and Arsenal all before the end of November. So I think that's. I can agree with you again there by saying it's a confidence booster. If we can go into Wednesday, win by 2 goals or more, and go into Liverpool on Sunday, then yes, maybe we might just stand a chance. And at least it's Liverpool at home. We have packed stadiums now. So, I think that's the only thing it is at this stage. I think Atalanta is a confidence booster. I don't think it's a change for our Champions League season.
All right, yeah, it's going to be a confidence booster. So, with that said, thank you guys for tuning in. Enjoy the football coming up this weekend. Thank you for. I said already said thank you for tuning in. Thank you for chipping the keeper with us. Have a good week.